Good morning. My name is Todd Tolhurst. I'm the president of Gun Owners of Maine. We're here a week to the day before Maine's new constitutional carry laws to go into effect, and as you may know, we have an announcement connected with that. Before we start, however, I think we'd like to hear from Senator Eric Brakey, whose bill this was and whose hard work brought this about. Senator?
Thank you very much, Todd, and thank you so much to the Gun Owners of Maine. I don't have any specifically prepared remarks, but I'm happy to be here to support the unveiling of the SAFER initiative. You know, during the whole debate of this bill, which I think we're all very excited about, which garnered a majority support, bipartisan support in both the House and the Senate, with support from members of leadership in both parties. One of the big points that was often brought up is the importance of firearms education and training. And I think on both sides of the debate, this point was very much believed in, that one of the core components of being a responsible firearms owner is having the training to be safe with your firearm and to know how to use it responsibly. Now, one of the great things that I argued during the debate for constitutional carry was that when we look at states like Arizona, when they became constitutional carry states they became a constitutional carry state in 2010, and you made the permit process optional, which also made that there was not a specific training mandate from the government in order to be able to carry a firearm. Some very counterintuitive things happened in Arizona. Not only did you see that there were more applications filed for concealed carry permits once they were optional, but also the level of training in Arizona went up. And the reason that has been argued for why you saw that happen was, once you remove this artificial plateau, this mandate from government saying that this is the moment, this level of training is when you have received enough training. You are now a certified responsible firearms owner for now and for all time. Once you remove that that government plateau, it helps break down this mindset that this is that firearms training is kind of a one and done thing. Well, what was seen in Arizona is that firearms training, not only were more people getting firearms training, but more people were getting more training. It becomes something that is much more of something that you continually go to the well, you continually hone your skills and become more trained, and you become a more skilled firearms owner. And in alignment with that, I'm really glad to see that Gun Owners of Maine is unveiling the SAFER initiative to help encourage, as we become a constitutional carry state in Maine, or we will be becoming in a week from now. I'm very excited to see that Gun Owners of Maine is taking their own steps to make firearms training and educational resources available, easy, and accessible for firearms owners all across the state. I'm sure they would love to talk more about this initiative, but I think we all agree, we are all in 100% agreement that training and education is essential to responsible firearms ownership. And these are some of the steps that we need to be taking forward to really emphasize that and make those resources available. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. I'd also like to ask Representative Patrick Corey to come up. Representative Corey was instrumental in getting this bill through the House. He worked with us very closely, especially on the SAFER initiative to shepherd constitutional carry through. So, Representative Corey.
Thank you, Todd. As Todd said, we work together to do this. So good morning. When the likelihood that permitless carry was going to become law this past spring, my concern, and that of many other people, was that people would not receive appropriate instruction in the handling of firearms and self-defense laws. Understanding that Gun Owners of Maine was the largest Maine-based statewide firearms organization, I reached out to them and asked that they make a commitment coinciding with the passage of LD 652 to provide these resources. The answer is yes. Prior to the vote, a document was delivered to me and distributed on the House floor outlining objectives, content, and most importantly, their commitment to Maine's people in this arena. SAFER, or the Statewide Access to Firearms Education Resource, is an online portal available at no cost to everyone that's in state, out of state. And they're very close to releasing version 1.0. I've looked at it, it's very professional. I strongly believe that this approach to self-paced training combined with well-produced, easy-to-follow videos and quizzes will provide the information folks need to responsibly carry and use firearms. I imagine that this is going to become a model for other states. The resources on this site will go far beyond an online course, and I'm going to let them explain that to you so we don't all repeat each other. I'm a responsible gun owner, have a concealed weapons permit, I'm a certified ring safety officer, and sit on the board of a Ronald Gun Club down in Falmouth. Over the years, I've both met people that are new to firearms and those who grew up around them, like many Mainers we all know. In almost every one of these encounters, I've met men and women who are safety conscious, who take part in and seek firearms training and feel an obligation to pass information and skills on to others. I'm very pleased to see this strong and what I consider an unprecedented commitment to firearm safety happen, and would like to thank the gun owners of Maine for fulfilling their promise to Maine's people and developing this website and providing this resource. I'd like to thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you again, Representative Corey. So to repeat myself, good morning. My name is Todd Tolhurst, and I am the president of Gun Owners of Maine. Gun Owners of Maine is a nonprofit grassroots gun rights advocacy group with members all throughout the state. In 1 week, on October 15th, Mainers will, for the first time in a century, have restored to them a constitutional right which has been licensed and regulated, not always equitably, for generations. Earlier this year, the legislature passed a constitutional carry, or permitless carry, bill. Back in 2014, Gun Owners of Maine identified constitutional carry as our prime legislative goal to achieve in 2015. As we work to move that goal forward with other interested groups like the Sportsmen's Alliance of Maine and legislative leaders like Senator Brakey, we realized that if we were successful, the new law would create a need for effective basic firearms education. Since educating and informing gun owners is at the very core of Gun Owners of Maine's mission, we felt we were best equipped to answer this impending need. As a result, we began to formulate a plan for a universally available, no-cost, comprehensive firearms orientation and safety training program. That initiative, which we call the Statewide Access to Firearms Education and Resources Project, or SAFER, was described to the members of the House of Representatives before the Chamber voted to approve constitutional carry. Today, 1 week before constitutional carry becomes effective, we are announcing the availability of SAFER at safer-maine.org. SAFER is designed to ensure that basic firearms education is available to everyone, regardless of financial, geographic, or scheduling barriers. It is an online distance learning course similar to those used by colleges and corporations everywhere, incorporating multimedia content. It's available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, to anyone with a computer or a tablet or a smartphone and access to the internet. The course is self-pacing, and students can take as much time as they need to complete the lessons. Each lesson consists of some combination of video instruction, reading material, and quizzes to both test and reinforce the information learned. Of course, an online computer-based course cannot replace human instructors, but SAFER also allows students to interact with certified firearms instructors to ask questions and better understand the course material. Gun Owners of Maine has a staff of volunteer certified instructors to ensure that every student receives personal instruction when needed. The SAFER system will serve as more than simply an online course, but as a community and information hub for the Maine gun community. SAFER will operate in partnership with a coalition of local firearms dealers, the firearm training community, as well as gun clubs and gun organizations. These partnerships will ensure that students find SAFER, and that SAFER directs students to further training with live instructors to continue their training in person, as well as to participate fully in the Maine gun community and adopt the values and traditions of training, responsibility, and safety. On behalf of all who value gun rights, Gun Owners of Maine thank Senator Brakey for sponsoring this bill and working so hard to make it law. Thank you also to Representative Patrick Corey, whose spirited and persuasive support in the House of Representatives make this possible. Maine will be a safer place because of you. Thank you.